को पहले कर लेते हैं। तो ये हमें जब तक ये इस पे, अब देखिए वही सारे लोग हैं, सैयद अली जफर साहब भी वहाँ मौजूद हैं, वो भी नहीं बता रहे हमें कि क्या बना उस केस का। ये तो नहीं कि दूसरे काउंसिल हैं, वही काउंसिल है ना सारे पेंडिंग है।
विल सबमिट इन द मॉर्निंग सर।
चले, मगर ये देखिए अब आप गौर साहब ने एक लफ्ज इस्तेमाल किया जो मैं नहीं करना चाह रहा था, फोरम शॉपिंग, जो कोर्ट्स जनरली फ्राउन अपॉन, तो यहाँ से रिलीफ नहीं मिली तो जाके वहां फाइल कर दो, वहां से नहीं मिली तो दूसरे कोर्ट में चले जाओ, तो फिर ये फिर सिस्टम को खराब करता है। तो देखिए अब आपने ठीक है लाहौर चले गए, फाइन, तो फिर वहीं रहिए ना लाहौर में, फिर आप क्यों जा रहे हैं पेशावर, या फिर आप जाइए जहाँ के इलेक्शन कमीशन मौजूद है जो कि इस्लामाबाद है। तो देखिए अब आप कहें जी मैं इलेक्शन करता हूं जाकर फलां जगह मैं इसलिए पिटिशन करूंगा, आप अपना कॉज ऑफ एक्शन नहीं क्रिएट कर सकते। कॉज ऑफ एक्शन इज क्रिएटेड बाय लॉ, यानी कि मैं ये काम करूंगा तो मैंने जो काम किया उस
बड़ी एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी सिचुएशन है जनाब, अच्छी तरह जानते हैं भाई। आपके सामने पहले बात पूरी सुनो। हाँ, आपके सामने पेंडिंग है केस जिसमें हमने अर्ज किया है कि हमें लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड नहीं दे, हमें हरेस किया जा रहा है, हमें कहीं सिक्योरिटी नहीं दी जा रही है, हमारे लोगों को अंदर किया जा रहा है, सारी बातें कहीं। हमारे साथ जो हो रहा है इन दीज सर्कमस्टांसेस में, ना इस्लामाबाद में हमें सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड की थी ना लाहौर में जहां हम इलेक्शन करा सकते। सो पार्टी ने डिसाइड किया कि द ओनली प्लेस वेयर सिक्योरिटी इज प्रोवाइडेड इज इन पेशावर, एंड देयरफॉर वी हेल्ड द इलेक्शन इन पेशावर। When elections were held in Peshawar, territorially it was only right and proper to file it before the Peshawar High Court. So see, these are the various stages of a case.
देखिए खान साहब जी, एक होता है इंतजामिया, इसमें अभी अब एक है इलेक्शन कमीशन, वो एक आईनी इदारा, एक है अदालतें जो कि आईनी अदालतें हैं, हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट। आप आए हमारे पास, अली जफर साहब उस केस में थे और इलेक्शन की बात हुई, हमने उस केस का फैसला 12 दिन में कर दिया कि इलेक्शन हो। 8 फरवरी की तारीख तय हुई, सब लोग खुश थे, आप भी की पार्टी खुश, इलेक्शन कमीशन खुश, सदर खुश, किसी ने कोई ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं कहा, अटॉर्नी जनरल खुश, चारों एडवोकेट जनरल खुश, सब ने ये मुतफ़िक़ा तौर पे ये हो गया। तो जब भी कोई, अब आप यकीनन आपके खिलाफ बहुत सारी चीजें होंगी, मगर कोर्ट उस वक्त आएगा जब कोई आए तो उसके सामने ना, दूसरे केस में कंटेम्प्ट मैटर में आए, वो एक और बेंच ने फॉरेन ऑर्डर पास कर दिया कि जी सारी सहूलतें जैसे अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ दी जाए। उसके बाद कंटेम्प्ट आई, फौरन हमने ले ली कंटेम्प्ट एप्लीकेशन, जो उन्होंने केस बनाया हमने उनको रिपोर्ट मंगवा ली। तो ये जहां तक हमारा ताल्लुक है, या तो बताएं हमने कोई काम नहीं किया। लाहौर हाई कोर्ट को आप गए, आपने कहा जी लार्जर बेंच बना दो, उन्होंने 5 मेंबर की बेंच बना दी, फिर आप उसको अबैंडन कर रहे हैं ना। या तो आप कहें कि मैं वापस देता हूं केस खत्म, मगर उस केस को लटका के कहीं और कैसे जाना है, ये जरा समझाने की, हम समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
उसमें वो वर्चुअली इंफ्रक्चुअस हो गया, इसलिए
तो फिर एक लाइन की दरखास्त देना थी ना, वो तो कोर्ट खुद आपको कह रही है आपने इलेक्शन कर लिए तो ये तो मैटर खत्म हो गया। आपने कहा नहीं ये फुल बेंच को आप बनाएं और ये हम करेंगे। तो ये तो फिर आपने सॉरी टू यूज, मगर ये तो फिर आपने अपनी पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मार दी, फिर आपने अपने आप को रोक दिया लाहौर हाई कोर्ट के जुरिस्डिक्शन में। आप उधर से निकल जाते, आप कहते हैं खत्म हो गया जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
उसके बाद छुट्टियां हो गई थी, केस लगा नहीं उसके बाद,
जो भी बात है, मगर वो लाहौर हाई कोर्ट ने सीज तो कर लिया ना, लिस्ट वहां पड़ी हुई है। एक इलेक्शन का मैटर लाहौर हाई कोर्ट में पड़ा हुआ है, एक इलेक्शन का मैटर इस्लामाबाद में, पेशावर में चला गया। तो अब कॉन्ट्रडिक्शंस भी आ सकते हैं, ये तो कभी नहीं करते हैं ना कि
साहब ये शॉर्ट ऑर्डर है, ये जुरिस्डिक्शन का इशू उठाए हाई कोर्ट के सामने, पेशावर हाई कोर्ट में, वेदर the writ is maintainable according to the territorial jurisdiction of the court or not.
Yes, it is.
Because we have no order, we have only short order. We do not know what are the reasons, if any, assigned by the learned bench of the...
Yes, sir. Because in this case, is there a question of territorial jurisdiction?
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Why?
I was counsel for the ECP.
You raised the objection?
In which case?
In my writ petitions, from which this judgment, the impugned judgment arises, my lord.
Yes.
And to answer my lord's question, not only did I raise the objection of forum shopping based on the Tirimzi judgment, but several of the complainants who were also heard, they also raised the same objection, that in the first instance, my lord, the order dated 23rd/11 is impugned in Lahore High Court. Then the order dated 22nd, which arises from that, is impugned in Peshawar High Court, and through an identical petition also impugned in the Lahore High Court. So there is an identical petition to petition 616.
That's not party's petition. This is
It is fine.
absolutely incorrect.
My lord, that petition.
Making incorrect statement.
May I complete what I'm saying?
चलिए आप नोट कर लीजिए, that can be
My lord,
responded
that
because
petition is
since the issue of jurisdiction.
नहीं तो ये जरा ये तो तय्युन कर लें, WP 81171 of 2023 and WP 332 of 2023, are they still pending in the Lahore High Court? Can we have a clear statement on that?
My lord, yes.
आप बताएं खान साहब, आप you are the petitioner.
According to the last order, both are pending, I think.
Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is the petitioner in both these petitions apparently. ये pending है, आज की तारीख में क्या position है?
332 में योराना PTI नहीं है, उसमें इमरान अहमद खान नियाजी है.
Is it pending or not?
Yes, pending. दोनों pending है.
दोनों pending हैं.
That is his personal grievance on that.
Personal grievance.
चले वो भी अलग कर दिया, मगर आपने उसको क्लब कर दिया 811171. तो how, when the matter is pending adjudication before a court of law, how can you go out of the territory of that court?
योराना नए subsequent cause of action arise हुआ है, subsequent election take place हो गया. जिस तरह बंदा convict हो जाता है, सजा काट के बाहर आ जाता है, अपने conviction से एक्विटल चाहता है, तो ये वही है. हमने कहा जो फाइंडिंग दी है पहले में वो भी गलत थी. पहले डिसीजन इस बात पे सेट असाइड
कैपेसिटी में हमें, आप वकील आज हैं या
मैं आपकी सिर्फ
जरा देखिए ना, ये जरा देखिए, ये खान साहब ये बहुत टेक्निकल क्वेश्चंस है ना, तो हम जरा खान साहब की अगर सीनियर काउंसिल का फायदा हम नहीं उठा रहे ना, अगर आप या फिर वो भी अपनी बात कर सकते हैं, वो समझते हैं कि वो खामोश हैं, तो हमें कोई इतराज नहीं, आप चुन लें. मगर हमें आप उनके कान में भी बता सकते हैं खान साहब के, मगर जरा देखें लीगल इशू को हम जरा रिजॉल्व तो कर लें ना. तो ये देखिए, मेरा जो तरीकेकार है शायद लोगों को पसंद भी नहीं है, अगर मेरे या पसंद है पता नहीं, जो मेरे जहन में कोई कानूनी लीगल इशू खड़ा होता है मैं खामोश नहीं रहता हूँ, मैं बता देता हूँ कि ये आप अटेंड कर लें. ठीक है, जब मैं वकालत करता था मुझे वो जज पसंद होते थे जो मुझे बता देते थे कि भाई ये इशू है. कुछ लोग खामोश रहते थे, बाद में कुछ फैसला करते थे, पूछा भी नहीं मुझसे. तो मैं आपको सिर्फ ये बता रहा हूं
में है कि जो जनाब ने सवाल पूछा, हम उसमें जनाब को
सैटिस्फाई करें. फैक्चुअल प्ली है ना, इसमें तो कोई लीगल प्ली क्या होगा कि आपने विड्रॉ क्यों नहीं की, और या आपने उसको केस को चलाया क्यों नहीं, या आप दरखास्त देते कि आप केस मेरा क्यों नहीं चला रहे हैं कि भाई बहुत अहम केस है जल्दी करें.
We will address this.
Okay. So can we continue with जी मखदूम साहब फरमाइए.
My lord, just to complete the sequence of what your lordship was presently dealing with, even after this second order was passed, in spite of the pendency of the petition in the Lahore High Court in the first order, this second order was challenged before the Peshawar High Court. It was more or less within a few days also challenged before the Lahore High Court. The Lahore High Court dismissed the petition.
और पिटिशन है
जी जी दूसरे ऑर्डर के खिलाफ. दैट इज माय लॉर्ड द पिटिशन नंबर 287 of 2024.
287
of 2024.
नहीं, पहले पिटिशन दिखाई कहाँ है
सर? दिस इज पेज 615 to page 615 to 630.
ये एक चीज अजय, ये दो केसेस मालूम कीजिए लाहौर हाई कोर्ट में पेंडिंग है या नहीं. ये
करने की वर्बेटी है सर. Shower at 616, your lordship will see they claim to be ex-secretary general and candidate PTI Gujranwala.
ये उमर आफ्ताब हैं
Umar Aftab
और बिलाल नासिर.
page 616 and Bilal Nasir.
तो ये तो पीटीआई नहीं है.
No, they are, he's, if your lordship will see, son of Chaudhry Dellu, President PTI Sheikhupura.
वो उन्हीं के ही हैं, वो उसमें लिखा हुआ है.
Is the President PTI Sheikhupura.
This petition का नंबर क्या है?
This petition number, my lord, is
नील लिखा है
287 of 2024.
इसमें क्या उनकी प्रेयर है?
Identical to 6 months.
Identical, I will read out to your lordship. That's at page 629. In view of the foregoing, it is respectfully prayed that this court may kindly be pleased to: 1. Instant petition may kindly be accepted, hold and declare that the impugned order of ECP dated 22/12/2023 is without jurisdiction, without lawful authority and illegal, and as a consequence thereof set it aside forthwith. In the meanwhile, suspend the impugned order dated 22/12/2023 forthwith and direct the Election Commission, Pakistan, to forthwith publish the certificate of PTI on website of ECP as required with section 2093 in the interest of justice, and to restore its election symbol forthwith. Declare that election symbol has been illegally and unlawfully been withdrawn, which is inter alia violation of fundamental rights of the petitioners.
अब जो पिशावर वाली पिटीशन है वो दिखाइए
सर, उसका पेज नंबर 49 है,
Part 1.
Part 1 में है सर. And if your lordship see, your lordship will find that they are virtually the same.
इसमें ऑर्डर का जिक्र नहीं है 22/12 का. ये 22/12 का ऑर्डर कौन सा है इसमें?
The impugned order is of 22/12, my lord.
इसमें तो नहीं है कहीं 22/12.
सर, प्रेयर के अंदर नहीं लिखा हुआ, but otherwise the petition impugns the order.
कहाँ लिखा हुआ है?
My lord, your lordship will see the impugned order in the index at page 30. And
नहीं, पिशावर में जो पिटीशन है, अभी प्रेयर क्लॉज में 22/12 का जिक्र कहाँ है? Declare that the impugned order.
Prayer mentions the impugned order. If your lordship will see the impugned order, that's at page 21.
नहीं, मैं इनको कह रहा हूँ कि पिटिशनर ने डिस्क्राइब किया है impugned order.
ये impugned order सर पेज 33 पे grievance and impugned order.
If your lordship will see,
ये लिखा हुआ है इसके अंदर.
aggrieved by order dated 22/12/2023 passed by respondent number 1 as the impugned order.
पैराग्राफ 1 में जिक्र है.
जी, it's the same.
अच्छा, इनका कहना कि क्या है, ये हमने फाइल नहीं की है लाहौर वाली?
Sir, right now that's what your lordships have heard.
No, I don't know. I would ask that question.
In Lahore,
has the Lahore High Court passed an order?
In Lahore High Court, an order was passed, and I have placed that order before your lordship. That is at page 631.
अच्छा, ये क्या है?
This is an order of the learned single judge.
ये क्या किया सिंगल जज ने?
Single judge, sir, held that you have also gone in respect of the same order to Peshawar, so I will not hear the matter. But the determination by the single judge is at page 634.
ये डिस्क्लोज किया था कि WP 81171 और WP 332 पेंडिंग है.
सर 8771 तो लाहौर हाई कोर्ट में पेंडिंग थी ना सर?
ये भी तो लाहौर हाई कोर्ट का जजमेंट.
जी, ये लाहौर हाई कोर्ट में है. इसमें इन्होंने जिक्र,
ये इनको पता था
जी, पेशावर इसका जिक्र है डिटर्मिनेशन में. द लर्नेड सिंगल जज सेज दैट. इफ योर लॉर्डशिप में सी,
नहीं तो उन्होंने कहा हम नहीं फैसला करेंगे.
जी, they said that we will not deal with it. If your lordship see page 637.
ये तो ऑर्डर स्पीकिंग, ये तो फिर तो ठीक है, ये ऑर्डर will not come in their way.
This is the second order, but there is an observation by the learned single judge in respect of point number 2 on page 639.
उन्होंने कहा कि वो ऑलरेडी पेंडिंग है पेशावर में.
That, and my lord, they say
639
point number 2. The learned single judge makes the observation, learned law officers also objected to maintainability of the petition by submitting that fundamental right of freedom of association is subject to reasonable restrictions imposed by law, which in the instant case is the Act and the rules framed thereunder, more specifically sections 208 and 215 of the Act, and therefore without challenging the vires thereof and declaration of the same being ultra vires Article 17, the relief cannot be granted. The learned counsels for the petitioners, when confronted whether the petitioners have challenged the vires of section 215(5) of the Act, read with Article 17 of the Constitution, replied that the same has been challenged before the Peshawar High Court. If your lordship may see fifth line, view of the aforesaid, the relief claimed by the petitioners cannot be granted without declaring the said provision of the Act ultra vires Article 17 of the Constitution.
I can't find
Sir,
it.
last five lines,
On page 639?
639.
Achha, okay.
In view of the aforesaid, the relief claimed by the petitioners cannot be granted without declaring the said provision of the Act ultra vires Article 17 of the
ये उन्हें
Constitution.
चैलेंज किया ये ऑर्डर?
ये ऑर्डर में ये डीबी में गए सर.
उसका नंबर क्या है ICA का?
They went in division.
एक सेकंड, इस ऑर्डर की डेट क्या है?
We got that order yesterday.
ये इस ऑर्डर की तारीख क्या है?
Sir, this order is 11th January
11 जनवरी.
in intra-court appeal number 2282.
नहीं, अब इंट्रा कोर्ट अपील का नंबर बताइए.
जी, इंट्रा-कोर्ट
नहीं,
अपील का नंबर है
लर्नेड सिंगल जज का क्या ऑर्डर है?
2282.
लर्नेड सिंगल जज के ऑर्डर की तारीख बताइए.
Sir,
जो आप पढ़
the
रहे थे
order
अभी.
of the learned single judge is dated 3rd of January 2024.
3rd of January.
2024. At page 631, your lordship will see the date.
अब ये गए इंट्रा कोर्ट अपील में.
जी, ये they go in intra-court appeal
ICA में नंबर ICA का
2282 of 2024.
जी.
That in,
इसमें क्या होल्ड किया?
sir, in
ये
that
आपने कॉपी दी खान साहब को? ये विड्रॉ कर ली इन्हें अपील.
जी sir, they withdrew it, and paragraph 3 is the relevant paragraph on page 2. In this view of the matter, the learned counsel for the appellant, when confronted with the prayer qua the illegality or irregularity in the judgment passed by the learned single judge in chambers with respect to section 2155 of the Act, a bid regarding allocation of election symbols, he has nothing in his pocket to rebut the same and opts to withdraw this intra-court appeal, which is hereby dismissed as withdrawn. Consequently, the observations rendered by the learned single judge in chambers are hereby upheld.
Do they own these proceedings or they don't own these proceedings?
My
Or
lord,
you don't know?
this is for the respondents before your lordship to say, but the two petitions in Peshawar and Lahore were verbatim.
ये पूछ लेते हैं खान साहब
जी सर, पूछ लें.
खान साहब, do you own this petition or you don't? 287 and ICA 2282.
We don't.
नहीं, who are these people? क्या नाम का? बिलाल नासिर चीमा and ये कौन लोग हैं? बिलाल नासिर चीमा कौन
These
है?
are not on behalf of the party. Candidates have filed.
नहीं, who's Bilal Nasir Chima? Associated with you, there are two. One is Bilal Nasir Chima and the other is Chaudhry Umar Aftab Dhillu. I hope I've pronounced it correctly. Do you own these petitions or you don't own these petitions?
No, we don't.
And who are these two gentlemen? Do you know them?
We have not.
Who are these two gentlemen?
PTI के सर.
There may be members of the party. I don't know.
I think
They are
नहीं,
not
इसमें लिखा है
officers of the
ex,
party.
नहीं इसमें लिखा हुआ है ना, प्रेसिडेंट PTI शेखुपुरा, एक्स सेक्रेटरी जनरल एंड कैंडिडेट PTI.
कैंडिडेट नहीं
देखिए, दो बातें होती है ना. एक तो कैंडिडेट अपने तौर पे जरूर कर सकता है. मुझे वो क्या उसको कहते हैं, मेरा नॉमिनेशन पेपर रिजेक्ट हो गया है, ठीक है, वो तो बात उसकी सही है. मगर इसमें जो उन्होंने प्रेयर मांग ली है वो तो पार्टी की बुनियाद पे मांगी है. तो आपने कोई स्टेटमेंट उधर दिया कि ये इसको काटें, ये प्रेयर इसको इधर से, ये प्रेयर हम ये देखिए PTI का जिक्र कर रहे हैं.
He had no authority on behalf of the party to file on
मैटर है ना. अब हमें क्या पता आपके पास अथॉरिटी है, गौर साहब के पास अथॉरिटी है, ये तो हम नहीं कर सकते ना तायुन.
मैं यही गुजारिश कर रहा हूं कि ये हमारी तरफ से यानी पार्टी की ऑथराइजेशन से नहीं हुई, ये इंडिविजुअल्स ने की है.
मगर खान साहब
नहीं, ये देखें,
जैसे
इसका
आपने
लिखा हुआ है, ये उमर आफ्ताब, सॉरी सर, उमर आफ्ताब है प्रेसिडेंट PTI शेखुपुरा, प्रेसिडेंट PTI शेखुपुरा. और ये जो बिलाल नासिर चीमा साहब हैं, एक्स सेक्रेटरी जनरल एंड कैंडिडेट PTI
That's
गुजरात.
what he's claiming. You see?
नहीं, मैं आप हमारी बात सिर्फ समझ लें, नोट कर लें.
जी जी बताएं.
एक चीज है ना, पता नहीं हो सकता है हजारों पिटिशन फाइल हो, आपको कुछ पता ही नहीं है.
जी.
मगर जब ये चीज अगर उस पे आ जाए रेडार पे, तो
इसका जवाब
वो उसका आप जवाब हमें दे
बिल्कुल
दीजिएगा।
देंगे।
अगर जहां तक उनकी जाती मसले हैं, उनको इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ने दिया जा रहा है, कोई और इशू है, बिल्कुल करें। वो तो हर कैंडिडेट अपनी भरेगा, आप पार्टी से तो ताल्लुक नहीं है उस लिहाज से। मगर अगर वो पार्टी को जो प्रेयर उसने मांग ली ना, वो पार्टी की मांग ली प्रेयर उसने, और उस पर जज साहब ने फाइंडिंग भी दे दी। तो अब वो जजमेंट को हम इवेपोरेट तो नहीं करेगा ना हवा में। उन्होंने कहा कि जी जब तक आप ये दो शिकें इलेक्शन एक्ट की चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते, आप ये बात कर नहीं सकते। हो सकता है गलत है, हो सकता है सही है, मगर एक जज की फाइंडिंग आ गई, वो फाइंडिंग दो जजेस ने कंफर्म कर दी। तो अब तसादुम तो हो गया ना, पेशावर हाई कोर्ट में, लाहौर हाई कोर्ट में। अब जजमेंट्स गायब तो नहीं होंगे। वो लाहौर हाई कोर्ट वाला जजमेंट आपने हमारे सामने चैलेंज किया है?
सर हम पार्टी नहीं थे, हमने चैलेंज नहीं कर सकता।
इशू कहते हैं ये कोई अपनी तरफ से गया ना,
उसको चैलेंज करना चाहिए दोनों को साथ में।
सर उसमें हम पार्टी नहीं है, पार्टी द पॉलिटिकल पार्टी इज नॉट देयर।
नहीं, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ ना, मगर जज साहब ने सही या गलत एक फैसला तो कर दिया है ना,
जी हाँ।
वो आपको डायरेक्टली इफेक्ट कर रहा है। तो HM साया केस में अगर आप पार्टी ना भी हो तो आपको हक तो मिलता है ना। तो अब आपको पता चल गया है, एक जजमेंट आपके खिलाफ आ गया है, और किसने फाइल किया है? कोई आपके दुश्मनों ने नहीं किया, आपके अपने लोगों ने फाइल किया है। वो तो एक अलग बात हो, किसी ने शरारत खेली आपके साथ और चलो भाई ये कर दें, वो आप ही के लोग हैं, आप उनको आपने नजरअंदाज भी नहीं किया है कि हमने इनको पार्टी से खारिज कर दिया। क्या है, आपके कैंडिडेट भी हैं PTI के, तो उनको हम ऐसे तो हम, और अब हाई कोर्ट के जजमेंट्स को हम क्या करेंगे? वो कोई चैलेंज करेगा ना, नहीं तो अब जो भी फैसला है उसको जब तक कोई चैलेंज तो करे ना, फिर हम आगे पीछे उसको कर सकते हैं। अगर आप उसको चैलेंज ही ना करें, उसको छोड़ दें कि जी हम तो उसमें पार्टी नहीं थे, जजमेंट तो फिर भी रहेगा अपनी जगह पे ना, वो तो फॉर ऑल टाइम्स टू कम रह जाएगा अपनी जगह पे। अब वो आपको भी शायद अफेक्ट करे, दूसरे पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को भी अफेक्ट करे। कल को कोई और पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज आ सकती है कि भाई ये जजमेंट गलत है, तो वो तो कह सकते हैं कि हम तो इस पार्टी में नहीं थे, हमें सुना नहीं, मगर आपका तो पे नहीं कह, आपके कहना जरा मुश्किल हो जाएगा मेरे हिसाब से। बहरहाल आप नोट कर लीजिए बात, चलें आगे बढ़ते हैं। अच्छा जी, ये पेशावर हाई कोर्ट का भी ICA में ऑर्डर हुआ है, WP में हुआ है?
WP, my lord.
वो IC है ही नहीं है, पेशावर में IC नहीं होती।
Two judges here, the petition like in Sindh, my lord.
As a general rule, now this I'm asking a question. Court's order of a high court by a learned single judge in writ petition, and another province's court order in a ICA, which takes priority?
My lord.
Have you understood the question?
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Over there, at least at the ICA, a determination has...
Forget this case. I'm asking a question of law.
My lord, it's a DB order in both cases.
Yes.
So they stand more or less on the same plane.
Yes.
Generally.
You won't add the one judge to the two judges and say there are three judges now.
No, my lord, because the order is that of a division bench in both,
Okay,
both
it's
cases.
interesting question.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever considered something like this before?
Not this honorable court, no, my lord. This has arisen, the issue has arisen some...
No, ये इसको छोड़ें, general question of law पे पूछ रहे हैं.
General question.
One DB decides a matter and one ICA. ICA is an appellate forum. Decides a matter. Both stand on equal footing if there are two judges naturally in both. So that was the question.
Yes, my lord.
Because I've never considered this question before.
My lord, I haven't come across a judgment where the issue has been considered.
जी, continue.
My lord, I was taking your lordship through page 140, which your lordship had taken a look at, and the election of office bearers, your lordship had taken a look at 141, 142. Then we, my lord, proceeded to page 192, where your lordship was dealing with the Federal Election Commission. And election commission shall be comprised following: Federal Election Commission.
तो हमने पढ़ लिए 4 सूबों के और 2 दूसरी टेरिटरीज के.
And
sections की violations हो रही है.
And these are the ones which the election commission says. What is the position of the election commission? They say that there was a duly elected commission. That was, at that time, the Federal Election Commissioner was Mr. Jamal Akbar Ansari. Now, thereafter, we have been told that this is the current gentleman is the chairman, who is also the respondent number 2, is the chief election commissioner of the party. Insofar as we are concerned, we have not been informed of how he has come about. I showed to your lordship that he has been appointed as a result of an order passed, which is on your lordship's files, which your lordship just saw, by Mr. Umar Ayyub. The election commission says this is not the correct procedure for appointing someone, because that is dealt with.
Has Jamal Ansari left the party?
My lord, the election commission says in the order which was impugned before the Peshawar High Court and which is before your lordship, that the election commission was not informed how this change has taken place.
As a matter of fact, do you know or no?
As a matter of fact, we don't, my lord. My instructions are
Now,
that we
I'm
don't know.
thinking of another thing. PTI's earlier position was that the elections that we held in June of 2022 were in accordance with our constitution. Some people got elected, I don't know, I presume, and those people, now they've said, election commission says, no, this is not proper election. They say, okay, we go and hold another election. What happens to those people? Were they heard? Because वो भी तो उनकी भी तो vested right हो जाएगी ना, unless they are the same group of people, the same identical people who again got elected. Because if they are maintaining that are they conceding that the elections of June was not in accordance with law, or are they sticking with the story, or saying, okay, fine, we set aside these elections? Has the political party set aside its own elections and said we'll hold it again? Otherwise, वो लोग कल को वो petition file कर देंगे, जी मैं तो elected हूँ, ये कैसे आ गए हमारी जगह? मतलब इस पे कोई बात हुई या नहीं हुई?
Before the election commission, they took the position that since you have pointed out all these defects, in order to cut the controversy short, we will recall those elections and hold elections afresh. That's how the second election came about.
वो वाले भी अनपोज थे?
Those were, yes, my lord, and copy. They were, the instructions are, they were unopposed.
तो आपका इनसे बहुत पुराना झगड़ा चल रहा है इलेक्शन पे?
Sir, was going on since the time when this particular party was the party in administration. The first reminder issued to them to hold elections because the period has expired was issued on 24th May 2021.
24th May?
May 2021.
फिर आपने कहा कि चलो आपको एक एक्सटेंशन टाइम दे देता हूँ.
Sir, that
we are being benevolent.
They sought an extension on the ground that due to COVID.
क्या की हुकूमत कब तक थी?
Sir, their government continued till 10th of April 2022.
अच्छा, तो ये उस जमाने में ये हुकूमत में थे?
Yes, sir.
तो वे इलेक्शन क्यों नहीं कराए?
Sir, they said we were unable to hold the elections on account of the pandemic COVID-19. And therefore, the election commission gave them a 1-year extension to hold the elections. Your lordship will see.
जब वो हुकूमत में थे तो आपने उनको रिलीफ दे दी.
My lord, we gave them a show cause notice while they were in.
Show cause notice के बाद में कहा चलो भाई एक साल बात कर लो.
Yes, my lord. But while they were still in government, on 24th of August 2021, we wrote to them and said that you were granted a 1-year extension and now the due date is coming and hold elections. Then we sent them a reminder on 7th.
ये जरा बताइए ये जो आप रेफर कर रहे हैं कहाँ है?
My lord, yes. The first letter your lordship will see is 24th of May 2021, which is at page 391 of your lordship's paper.
Just for disclosure,
My lord.
Mr. Mahdum Ali Khan,
My lord.
we reached out to the Lahore High Court to find out the status of WP 332 of 23 and the other matter, and both are pending adjudication
Yes,
before a 5-member bench.
Yes, my lord.
This is just now got it.
The order that your lordship last saw, they were adjourned to 12th of January, which is
नहीं, ये
today.
तो आज स्टेटस हमने कहा, हो सकता है कभी डिसमिस हो गया हो, कुछ हो गया हो ना, नॉन प्रोसिक्यूशन या कुछ.
तो आज तो this,
Now please take us to the letter of 24th of May.
my lord, that is page 391. I am directed to refer to the correspondence resting on the subject. Attention,
एक सेकेंड. 3
my lord,
Part
page
में होगा.
391.
आप तो पार्ट भी बता दिया करें.
Sir, I'm sorry, part 2,
हाँ 391 में 391
page, part 2.
जी.
I am directed to refer to the correspondence resting on the subject. Attention is drawn towards sections 208, 209 and 215 of the Elections Act 2017, read with Rule 158 of the Election Rules 2017, thereof whereby a political party is to conduct intra-party elections in accordance with its constitution, a mandatory requirement under the law to sustain, retain the already allotted election symbols, and to contravene with prescribed legal provisions, a political party shall be issued show cause notice by the Election Commission, and election symbol whereof shall be withdrawn, enabling the party ineligible to obtain an election symbol for the elections to come. Foregoing in view, it is advised that intra-party elections of your political party may be conducted timely in a manner provided in party's constitution to avoid being declared ineligible as given in law. If your lordship graciously turns
नहीं,
the...
but इसमें तो इससे भी पहले चल रहा था. Says I'm direct to refer to the correspondence resting on the subject.
Yes,
So,
so there was some earlier correspondence.
and till when was this political party in government?
So this party was in government till 10th of April 2022.
10th of April. So this letter was written while they were in government.
Yes, my lord. And this,
So the allegation that you were somehow under pressure, are you making that point here?
my lord, no, we are pointing out just to your lordship the
In the
history.
behest of the caretaker government, you're doing this?
No. My lord, all that the ECP is saying before your lordship is that this is a matter, this is a background to how the first...
जवाब किधर दिया उन्होंने?
My lord, we didn't get satisfaction to this, so we issued a show cause notice, which is at
जवाब ही नहीं दिया इन्होंने ये.
page 392.
नहीं, जवाब तो दिया हुआ है ना उन्होंने.
My lord,
टाइम
yes,
मांगा
they
कोविड की
gave,
वजह से.
they wrote
कोविड
that.
2019 में था ना?
जी सर, if your lordship will, नहीं ये 2021 का सर लेटर है.
नहीं मगर कोविड तो कोविड-19 कहते हैं ना, 2019 का है ना.
My
वो
lord,
चले 19-20 निकल गया तो 21 में आप मांग रहे
जी
हैं
सर.
election.
And then they give a reply.
वो किधर है?
My lord, that is at page 393.
393. ये जरा पढ़ लें.
जी सर.
इसका रेलेवेंट पोर्शन पढ़ लें, जो भी पूरा पढ़ना चाहें.
That with regard to the paragraph 2, that with regard to the concern raised by ECP in the instant show cause regarding failure of PTI, provision of certificate pertaining to conduct of intra-party elections due on 13th June 2021, it is submitted without prejudice that due to
तो ये
COVID-19,
मान रहे हैं कि ड्यू हैं.
Ji sir, and they were due as of 13th June according to them, that due to COVID-19, all activities where public gather are restricted. It is due to this reason that holding of various events of the party, including intra-party elections, were affected and many activities could not be carried out as per schedule. If your lordship may graciously turn the page, last paragraph, in light of above, you are therefore requested to withdraw show cause notice and a time period of 1 year subject to permission to hold large public gatherings by NCOC, and government may be granted to PTI for holding of intra-party election in the interest of justice, please. Then, my lord,
ये 1 year कब होगा एक खत्म?
sir, we give them time, and that's the next letter on 24th August 2021. Next letter, my lord, at page 395. Paragraph 2. As per record, the last intra-party elections of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf were conducted on 13 June, and the tenure was fixed 4 years as per party constitution 2018.
4 years था या 3 years था?
Sir, according to the current constitution, it is 3 years. They are mentioning 4 years as per the constitution of 2018. This is the 2019 constitution which your lordship have before you. Later on, amended constitution submitted in the year 2019, and according to its sunset clause 4.1, the party has to conduct the intra-party election within 18 months of the adoption of the constitution of the party, and as such the target date was 1st November 2020. However, the Honorable Election Commission has accepted your request and advised to conduct intra-party elections of the chairman and other office bearers well before 13 June 2022. And then, my lord,
You are overtly generous.
we give them a 1 year.
You were overtly generous because they were in government.
My lord,
I mean, they are themselves accepting that 1st November 2020 is the target date, and you said, "Chalo, 2 saal le lo."
sir, because of the COVID-19 restrictions, because they had pleaded in the previous letter, asked for 1 year, that is why the election commission gave. There is no other
बाकी पार्टी
explanation.
से आप भी generous थे आप या नहीं?
Sir,
दो चार पार्टी और भी थी जिन्होंने कोविड की वजह से एक्सटेंशन मांगी थी, they were granted the extension.
that's correct, your
अच्छा,
Lordship.
तो अब इन्होंने आपने दी 13 जून को।
जी सर, फिर सर,
आपने इन्होंने इलेक्शन कब किए फिर?
sir, the elections were then held on 13th June.
इन्होंने 10 जून को किए। जो आपने कहा कि सही नहीं है।
जी सर।
अच्छा।
And that was also held after we gave them a reminder letter.
वो आपने क्यों कहा था कि सही नहीं है 10 जून वाले इलेक्शन? बुनियादी बातें।
They were because the elections were to be held in accordance with the constitution.
नहीं, बुनियादी बातें
And
बताइए।
there were certain violations of the constitutional provisions of the PTI.
आपको पता है point से नहीं
itself. My lord, this was the ground urged over there, that several provisions of the PTI constitution were violated, that several of the persons were not appointed correctly, and that is why that order was issued. That impugned order is before your lordship. It is at page.
नहीं, देखिए मखदूम साहब, एक सवाल उठता है जो हमारे जहन में भी है। हम जो जहन में होता है मैं कह देता हूँ, कभी कभी लोग पसंद नहीं करते हैं। हम ये देखना चाह रहे थे कि आपका इनके साथ रवैया जो है अब वो क्या सख्त हो गया है, सख्त कोई और लफ्ज नहीं इस्तेमाल करेंगे, सख्त हो गया है, क्योंकि शायद कोई वजह से, या फिर आपका यही रवैया रहा है इनके साथ हमेशा से। तो ये खतूत से तो एक चीज तो जाहिर होती है कि आप इनसे कह रहे हैं इलेक्शन कराओ, और आपने और ये मैंने मान भी लिया कि हाँ बात तो सही है आपकी, हमने इलेक्शन नहीं कराए। इन्हें वजह दी कि हमें 1 साल दे दो, आपने कहा चलो ले लो साल। आपने नहीं कहा कि 3 महीने ले लो, 6 महीने ले लो। भाई आपको क्या पता था कि कोविड 1 साल और चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा? बहरहाल आपने बहुत जेनरोसिटी का जाहिर की, तो 1 साल आपने इनको दे दिया। फिर उन्होंने इलेक्शन किया, आप कह रहे हैं फिर वो भी इलेक्शन सही नहीं हुआ। ठीक है, तो ठीक है, बस ये हम देखना चाह रहे थे कि ये आपका एटीट्यूड कैसा है, कि अभी बदला है या पुराना है। क्योंकि उस वक्त एक अहम बात जो सामने आई है वो ये, उस वक्त ये सरकारी पार्टी थे, अब शायद नहीं है सरकारी पार्टी, तो उस वक्त आप इनको अकोमोडेट कर दिया, बहुत ज्यादा कर दिया 1 साल का, मगर फिर भी अकोमोडेट किया। मगर आपने इशू रेज किया हुआ है इलेक्शन का जब से इनकी सरकार थी।
My lord, yes. And the other thing, my lord, that at the very time, in the first letter which I read out before your lordship of 24th of May 2021, at page 391 part 2, we had said that the consequence of not holding this election,
ये बात भी आप कर चुके हैं।
इनको उस वक्त जब ये पार्टी इन पावर थे, इनको कहा कि आपका सिंबल वापस ले लिया जाएगा अगर आप इससे कंप्लाई नहीं करते। दिस इज द कॉन्सिक्वेंस।
उन्होंने इस बात की मुखालिफत नहीं की, आपके पास ये हक है ही नहीं,
दैट जुरिसडिक्शन दे डिड नॉट कॉन्टेस्ट।
उन्होंने कहा ठीक है आपकी बात सही है, इलेक्शन नहीं किया, अब 1 साल दे दीजिए, हम कर देंगे।
जी
ठीक, समझ गए, आगे बढ़िए। कोई और पॉइंट?
The next point is that when the elections were held first time round, we passed an order. They challenged that order, as your lordship saw.
तो हो गया सारा।
जी, वो सारी बात हो गई।
Don't repeat yourself.
Yes, they passed that order. Then they appeared before the election commission. They resigned from that position and they said we'll hold another election. Now and that time then they have thereafter proceeded to hold the second election. As a result of the second election, the Election Commission has raised certain objections and passed the order. What is the crux of that order? The second order which was impugned before the Peshawar High Court.
एक आपने बात की कि आपने जो अपने आइन में जो लिखा हुआ है जो 7 मेंबरान का बोर्ड वो आपने बनाया इन इलेक्शन करने
My lord, yes.
दूसरी बात आपने कहा है कि एक अजीब बात है कि पूरे पाकिस्तान में सभी अनअपोज्ड आ गए। तीसरी बात आपने कहा कि आपने ये तो बताया नहीं अपने मेंबरान को इलेक्शन हो कहाँ रहा है, नॉमिनेशन पेपर कहाँ है, कितने नॉमिनेशन फाइल हुए, मतलब कितने लोग मौजूद थे। तो ये आपकी बातें, इसके अलावा जो बातें वो बताइए।
जी सर, हमने इनको ये कहा कि आपके
Repeat ना करें।
No, my lord. We said that according to your constitution, you could co-opt if there was a vacancy in the membership of the commission. But if the chairman ceases to be, the chairman has to be elected in terms of your own constitution, and the present chairman of the Federal Election Commission of the PTI is not an elected person. He has been appointed by Mr. Umar Ayub. You claim
ये कहाँ लिखा है?
My
आइन
lord,
में इनके कहाँ लिखा है?
in the impugned order, in the order.
ऑर्डर में नहीं, इनके आइन में पहले दिखाए ना शेख,
Ain.
फिर इम्प्यून ऑर्डर पे जाइए, या आपके कानून की बात कर रहे हैं, इलेक्शन एक्ट की?
No, my lord, I am showing your lordship from their constitution, which is at page 124, and if your lordship graciously proceeds to page Federal Election Commission, secondly, you again taken my paper. My lord, at file 1, page 192. Yeah, one.
ये मेरी नौकरी है। आपको क्या चाहिए? आपकी टीम।
Sir, your lordship will see functions. And the election commission marked the provision. Article 9,
नहीं, किस आर्टिकल?
page 192. इसको दिखाना मुझे page 192.
9 तो इधर है ही नहीं। अच्छा, रोमन
Roman 9.
जी, फेडरल, ये तो हम पढ़ चुके हैं।
My lord, the Secretary General shall propose with the approval of the chairman. Yes, my lord. The Secretary General shall propose with the approval of the chairman the names for all the 6 commissioner and chief of the Federal Election Commission from outside the membership of the National Council, and that's the method of how they are elected. Paragraph 5. The commission can co-opt associated members for specific jobs departments and may co-opt members for any vacancy arising out of resignation or incapacitation of a member. 6. In case of the resignation or incapacitation of the Chief Federal Election Commission, full above mentioned procedure need to be adopted, which is the procedure of election given in paragraphs 2 and 3 above. So while a co-option,
तो आपका कहना है कि उमर अयूब साहब के पास कोई इख्तियार नहीं था,
that's the submission, my lord.
क्या करना चाहिए था उनको?
My lord, if the Chief Election Commissioner has resigned, the election had to take place in terms of paragraphs 2
नहीं, उस
and
खत
3.
में क्या लिखा है? उन्हें रिजाइन किया या उनको रिमूव किया?
It says that Mr. Gohar Khan has resigned and therefore you are being appointed. Page 89. Page 89, part 1. Following the resignation of Barrister Gohar Khan on 27th November 2023, it is notified that Mr. Niazullah Khan Niazi is hereby appointed as CEC, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, with immediate effect.
अगर आप ये भी कह रहे हैं कि ये सेक्रेटरी जनरल कैसे अपॉइंट हुआ उनका?
Sir. And that is the other point which we make in that order by the Election Commission, that the Secretary General himself could not have been appointed in this manner, and in any event on our record Mr. Asad Umar still continues on
As
our
Secretary General.
as the Secretary General. On our record Mr. Umar Ayub was never brought on election commission.
ये तो इलेक्शन कमीशन को इन्फॉर्म करना जरूरी है कि सेक्रेटरी जनरल चेंज हो गया।
My lord, because the list of party bearers is filed with us and we need to know who is
किस
there.
लॉ के तहत?
My lord,
किस लॉ के तहत?
My lord,
लॉ की बात
under
करते
the Election Act, they
हैं।
have.
हाँ, इलेक्शन एक्ट के जरा रेलेवेंट प्रोविजंस बताएं हमें। Because we've seen their constitution, we want to see now the law.
Yes, my lord. If your lordship may see, the first provision in this respect is 200. Your lordship will see chapter 11, political parties. And then this is how 201, how the political party is constituted. A political party shall formulate.
वो ना पढ़े relevant बात बताएं.
जी सर. सर B में आप देखें organizational structure of the party at the federal, provincial and local levels, whichever is
कौन सा सेक्शन
applicable.
मैंने पढ़ रहे हैं आप?
My lord 201.
सेक्शन 200.
200 या 201?
201 sir. 200 is just who will be a political party. 201 is shall constitute, formulate is, so it's a requirement of the law. A political party shall formulate its constitution by whatever name called, which shall include the aims and objectives of the political party. B, organizational structure of the political party at the federal, provincial and local levels. Then membership fees, designation and tenure of the office bearers of the political party. Criteria for receipt and collection of funds for the political party. And F, my lord, procedure for 1, election of office bearers. 2, power and function of office bearers, including financial.
वो subsection 3 है मेरे ख्याल में.
My lord, any change in the constitution of a political party shall be communicated to the commission within 15 days of incorporation of the change, and the commission shall maintain updated records of the constitutions of all the political parties.
Constitution, are we here referring to the constitution of the body or
Yes.
constitution document?
My lord, in my submission, this sounds like the constitution of the body, constitution of a political party.
Yes. तो ये है 2013.
Yes.
तो हमारा सवाल था क्या क्यों बताएं आपको, तो 201 ये लाजिम करता है उनको कि बताएं आपको.
Yes, ma'am.
3.
And then 202, how the political parties are enlisted. And then if your lordship may proceed.
तो ये आपसे राब्ता पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज का मुतवातिर होना चाहिए.
Sir,
ये जो आप कह रहे हैं ये सिर्फ आप इनके लिए तो नहीं कर रहे हैं, सारी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के कर रहे
that's
हैं.
true for every political party.
नहीं, आपने ये तो नहीं किया इम्तियाजी सलूक इनके साथ.
No, sir, no, not at all. We have required this of every political party. Then your lordship will see section 206. This is the selection for elective offices. Then 207, functioning of a political party. And that requires them to convene a general meeting every year. It requires that they shall have an elected general council at the federal, provincial and local levels. Then your lordship will see 208, the office bearers of a political party at the federal, provincial and local levels, wherever applicable, shall be elected periodically in accordance with the constitution of the political party, provided that a period not exceeding 5 years shall intervene between any two elections. Any member of a political, then who can participate, my lord? Any member of a political party, subject to the provisions of the constitution of the political party, be provided with an equal opportunity of contesting election for any political party
मेंबरशिप
office.
की डिटेल्स भी आपको देना होती है या नहीं?
सर ऑफिस बेयरर्स की डिटेल्स देते हैं ये.
मेंबरशिप की जरूरत नहीं है.
इनिशियली देते हैं.
Right, when the party is enlisted, at the time of its enlistment, they provide, because the requirement is that they should be at least have 2,000 members before it can be enlisted as a political party by the election commission.
और 209 क्या कहता है?
200 सर अगर 208 एक बार और देख लें सर. A member of a political party shall, subject to the provisions of the constitution of the political party, be provided with an equal opportunity of contesting elections for any party office. Subsection 3.
आपका बुनियादी तौर पे ये केस है 208(2) का
Yes.
कि आपने अपने मेंबरान को ये मौका नहीं दिया कि वो इलेक्शन लड़ सके.
And in respect of Mr. Umar Ayyub, your lordship may see also subsection 4, the political party shall publish the updated list of its central office bearers and executive committee members by whatever name called on its website and send the list and any subsequent change in it to the commission.
ये वो तो चले एक टेक्निकल चीज है ना. दो बातें हो गई ना. एक होती है बुनियादी हकूक.
जी सर.
बुनियादी हकूक आइन में भी दर्ज है, आर्टिकल 17 में भी इलेक्शन का हक. अब एक टेक्निकल चीज है कि उन्होंने नाम भेजा नहीं भेजा, चलें भाई उसको तो आप नजरअंदाज करना चाहें या ना करना चाहें मुझे नहीं पता, मगर एक बुनियादी हक है हर शहरी का कि वो अपनी मर्जी की पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को वोट करे, और ये बुनियादी हक हर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के मेंबर का भी है कि वो वोट का हक इस्तेमाल कर पाए
My lord.
और लड़ सके इलेक्शन किसी ऑफिस के लिए। नहीं तो फिर अगर हम ये हक छीन लें तो फिर तो डिक्टेटरशिप नेशनल लेवल पे भी हो जाएगी और निजी लेवल पे भी हो जाएगी। जी मेरी मर्जी, मैं जो करूं।
And that is why, my lord, in section 209, the requirement.
ये सब पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से आप बराबर का
Yes,
सलूक कर रहे हैं
yes,
ना?
yes, my lord. There is, in my instructions are that.
मगर इतना माइन्यूटली और जितनी भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं उनका भी आप रिकॉर्ड इसी तरह देख रहे हैं इतना माइन्यूटली?
Yes, my lord.
सर ये अभी
वहाँ भी अनअपोज आते हैं या वहाँ आपने
My lord, and we have delisted today.
अनअपोज जो आ
ये
रहे
अभी हमने
हैं
एक डीलिस्टेड का केस अभी
जी
देखा
सर,
था।
हम
ये मगर
अभी
एक बात जो
Up to
आपके
today-
फेवर में शायद जाती है कि आपने ये इशू उठाया था जब पीटीआई खुद हुकूमत में थी।
My lord.
तो ये एक मेरे ख्याल में एक वजनी बात है।
My lord.
ये नहीं कि एकदम से हुकूमत से गए तो आप इनके पीछे पड़ गए। मतलब ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है। मेरे आई डोंट नो मे बी
My lord, that is our respectful submission and reply to the query of my lord, Mr. Justice Muhammad Ali Mazhar, for various violations. Even today, 13 political parties have been delisted.
And one in the earlier part of the day.
चलें खैर उसकी बात ना करें, कल को हमारे सामने होंगे।
जी सर,
तो
जी
वो मगर ये बस हम ये देखना चाहते हैं कि भाई आपका ये कोई पिक एंड चूज वाला एटीट्यूड ना हो।
जी सर।
अच्छा, तो असली बात इलेक्शन की आ गई ना बस।
जी सर, and then
भाई
certificate.
माइनर चीजें तो चलें ठीक है। वो
ये अनअपोज आने की जो रवायत है ये सिर्फ इन्हीं के पास आई है या और दूसरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज में भी अनअपोज इलेक्शंस हैं? दूसरी और जितनी भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज जो दे आर
My lord, I will take instructions in specific.
पीछे इलेक्शन वाले इलेक्शन कमीशन
Unopposed.
ये अनअपोज जो है और पार्टीज में भी आते हैं या सिर्फ यहीं पे ये रिवायत कायम हो गई है और आपकी दूसरी पार्टीज में इलेक्शन होते हैं प्रॉपर या वो भी इसी तरह होता है?
रिकॉर्ड देख के फिर बता सकते।
जरा चेक कर लीजिएगा कल।
चले आप देख लें।
The submission is, my lord, that the objection.
Let's finish with the law now.
Yes, my lord. Section 209. A political party shall, within 7 days from completion of the inter-party elections, submit a certificate signed by an office bearer authorized by the party head to the commission to the effect that the elections were held, and it's very important, my lord, in accordance with the constitution of the political party. And this act to elect the office bearers at the federal, provincial and local levels wherever applicable in accordance with the constitution of the political party. And if your lordship may then straight away proceed to section 215.
215
My lord.
एलिजिबिलिटी।
Yes, my lord. Anything notwithstanding.
ये आपको भेजा उन्होंने सर्टिफिकेशन?
My lord, they did.
वो किधर है, किस सफ़े पे है?
And that is on the basis of that we proceeded to issue them a notice, and thereafter these proceedings took place.
ये 440 या 441 पे गए।
My lord, if your lordship may
89 या
graciously
90 पे है
please.
ये।
440
This is, my lord,
Page 90.
page 440, letter to the ECP from PTI stating that the intra-party elections took place on 2nd of December 2023.
एक सेकंड।
This is in part 2.
एक सेकंड।
नहीं, ये जो इनका फॉर्म है ना,
ये दोबारा बताइए।
My lord, this is
सर्टिफिकेशन।
फॉर्म 65
page
जो है,
440, part 2.
फॉर्म 65 पेज 66 पे है।
जी सर।
तो पार्ट 1 देख लेना, वो जो चीफ साहब पूछे पेज 66 है पार्ट 1 पेज 66।
ये सर्टिफिकेशन।
हाँ, ये फॉर्म 65 डालना है ना, ये
फॉर्म ये 65 किधर है? फॉर्म 65 ये यही है? नहीं यही
फॉर्म। जी जी जी,
ये फॉर्म वाली बुक है हमारे पास।
रूल्स में
जी सर, ये रूल्स के अंदर प्रेस्क्राइब फॉर्म है, which is
Rules
there in
कहाँ
the
है
rules.
हाँ ये वाली है। फॉर्म 65 निकालिए।
रूल्स की किताब में है ना फॉर्म
जी सर, this is under rule 158(1).
168 पे फॉर्म 65।
जरा ये पढ़ लें।
My lord, yes. Form 65, certificate regarding intra-party elections. I such and such office.
नहीं इनका एक्चुअल वाला पढ़े ना, पेज 68 पे।
Page 68, 66. This is Barrister Gohar Ali Khan, Chairman of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, do hereby certify that intra-party elections have been held in accordance with the Constitution of the party and the provisions of the Election Act 2017, and furnish the following information and documents annexed hereto in respect of: 1. The date of the last intra-party elections, 13/6/2017, declared invalid. The names, designations, and address of the party leaders and all other office bearers, along with their attested copies of NICs elected at the federal, provincial, and local levels, wherever applicable. The election results, including the total number of votes cast and the number of votes secured by each contestant
ये किधर है?
for all of party offices.
ये किधर है?
Yeah, to sir, because this,
नहीं, इन्होंने लिखा है
they have said they are unopposed, so therefore.
जी, यही तो ये कैसे कह रहे हैं कि the number of votes cast and the number of votes secured, ये कैसे कह रहे हैं? ये कौन सा इसके साथ मुंसलिक किया है इन्होंने डॉक्टर?
Nothing, because all the certificates.
क्योंकि देखिए एक जगह तो आपने पढ़ा था कि अनअपोज आए,
जी सर,
इधर ये तो कह रहे हैं कि नहीं, वोट्स कास्ट हुए और नंबर ऑफ वोट्स सिक्योर्ड बाय ईच कैंडिडेट.
if your lordship takes a look at what they have filed,
उधर तो नहीं लिखा है कुछ.
that is from page 79 onwards. Your lordship, sorry, even before
3 का जवाब किधर है?
रोमन 3 का सर जो इनका अपना डॉक्यूमेंट है वो पेज 78 पे है, अगर आप देखिए 8. सो अंडर दी
ये तो सारा उन्होंने लिख दिया अनअपोज.
वोट्स के नीचे अनअपोज
तो
लिखा है.
बैरिस्टर गौहर अली खान, चेयरमैन पीटीआई, अनअपोज.
रोमन 3 है, वो कहता है, और आई थिंक ये फॉर्म 65 भी यही कहता है कि एक्चुअल वोट्स होंगे ना, कि आपको 10 वोट मिले, उसको 100 वोट मिले, जो भी होता है, टोटल नंबर ऑफ वोट्स कास्ट एंड द नंबर ऑफ वोट्स सिक्योर्ड बाय ईच कंटेस्टेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ पार्टी ऑफिसेस.
तो ये पेज 79 पे भी देखिए, जो इस वक्त बात चल रही थी उमर अयूब खान साहब के हवाले से कि वो कब इलेक्ट हुए हैं, वो तो इस वाले में पेज 79 पे लिखा हुआ है, डेजिग्नेशन सेक्रेटरी जनरल अनअपोज. ये तो इलेक्शन के बाद आए ना.
जी जी.
तो उससे पहले सेक्रेटरी जनरल का जो सवाल था वो कब अपॉइंट हुए थे?
सर देयर वाज, अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर रिकॉर्ड्स,
नहीं ये देखे ना, इसमें सेंट्रल ऑफिस बेयरर्स की जो लिस्ट है ना पेज 79 पे.
जी सर.
उमर अयूब खान, डेजिग्नेशन सेक्रेटरी जनरल, वोट्स अनअपोज.
जी सर, दिस इज विद इफेक्ट फ्रॉम 2nd of December. योर लॉर्डशिप इज राइट.
उससे पहले साइन कर रहे हैं ना सेक्रेटरी जनरल की.
जी सर.
मुझे एक और खत दिखाया था आपने, वो दिखाइए
जी
कि आई रिजाइन, तो इनको अपॉइंट कर रहा हूँ.
ये गौर साहब की
जी सर,
सिग्नेचर के बाद
86 पे तो नहीं.
आपने अभी दिखाया था मैं कहीं.
तो उससे ये क्वेश्चन लिंक हो रहा था ना कि आपने कहा उनकी अपॉइंटमेंट का कोई प्रोसीजर बताया नहीं है या अपॉइंटमेंट का कोई लेटर नहीं है रिकॉर्ड का, इसलिए ये सवाल आपसे.
आपने अभी हमें बताया था, वो एक खत था.
I'll just give your lordship the page 89.
Sorry, 86 minutes.
Page 89. Part 1 again, my lord.
ये देखें ना, ये है 28 नवंबर 2023 का.
ये इन्होंने अपने, मतलब ये तो पहले का है.
जी सर.
इलेक्शन से पहले का, तो ये कब बने, कैसे बने, ये नहीं पता आपको?
Sir, he was never. Your lordship has seen the law.
आपका मौक़िफ़ ये है कि असद उमर ही आज सेक्रेटरी जनरल हैं.
जी, चूंकि this election.
और अगर वो पार्टी छोड़ गए या नहीं है तो कोई तरीकेकार होना चाहिए किसी और को अपॉइंट करने की, जो इलेक्शन होना चाहिए.
Yes sir. And according to the law,
तो पहले उनका इलेक्शन होगा, फिर वो इलेक्शन, फेडरल इलेक्शन क्या होता है, फेडरल इलेक्शन कमिश्नर अपॉइंट करेंगे और 6 और इलेक्शन कमिश्नर बनेंगे, जो बॉडी को बनाएगा जिसके तहत इंतखाबात होंगे.
Yes,
चलेगा ना मामला.
Yes, madam. Because what your lordship have from page 78 to 87.
ये सवाल तो इनके लिए हम पूछेंगे इनसे. आप कह रहे हैं ये ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं किया इन्होंने. अब हम ये सवाल पूछेंगे कि किया या नहीं किया, वो सुन भी रहे हैं. ठीक है. और आपका कोई अगला पॉइंट?
So we show that from 78 to 87 they were all unopposed. Our submission was, and the election commission order which is there that your lordship.
एक और बात जो है
जी,
आपने कहा ये हमने आज खुद नहीं किया, आज खुद भी आपने किया था और इनके अपने कंप्लेंट्स भी आए.
जी सर.
इनके अपने फाउंडिंग मेंबर्स वगैरह की.
सर.
हमें भी तो इलेक्शन लड़ने दो
सर,
बेशक हार जाएं. अच्छा
मखदूम साहब, ये इलेक्शन अगर अनाउंस हो जाए उनका, तो हाउ इज दैट पब्लिसाइज्ड? हाउ वुड एवरीबॉडी कम टू नो के इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं इनके? व्हाट्सएप फैसिलिटी तो सबको अवेलेबल नहीं है.
That is correct.
पब्लिक नोटिस हुई है, कोई अखबार में
क्या कोई कानून में कोई शिक है या इनके अपने रूल्स में कोई शिक है?
The law only provides that they should be held in a fair and transparent
Constitution में
manner.
कुछ है?
Constitution में I haven't come across a provision which provides a particular method, but the law which exists, the law says they should be in a fair and transparent manner where persons should be given a right to participate, and that's there in 208 which we, and 209, not 209, 208 which we just read out to you, Lordship.
अच्छा, कोई स्पेसिफिक शिक नहीं है रूल्स में इनके आपको अखबार में नोटिस देना है या क्या करना
No, my lord, that's not there.
Conducted in accordance with their
कि अपने रूल्स
Because they have to conduct it, my lord, in
है?
accordance.
रूल्स में आपके इलेक्शन रूल्स में कुछ ऐसी बात है?
इलेक्शन रूल्स के अलावा इनके अपने रूल्स भी लगे हुए हैं
जी,
वो, हाँ, इनके अपने रूल्स हैं, वो देखिए, अभी नजर पड़ी थी मेरी
that
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के साथ, देखे ना इनके।
जी जी सर, बिल्कुल लगे हुए हैं। But our submission is that these rules were to be made by the Election Commission itself for its purposes. It couldn't change the party constitution. They couldn't, under these rules, bring in someone who was not entitled to come in through the party constitution.
rules.
Provision कहाँ है? Constitution में.
डॉक्टर साहब, अगर इन केस इन द मिडल कोई ऐसी इमरजेंसी आ जाती है जिस तरह इस पार्टी के साथ हुआ, इन द मिडल इनके सेक्रेटरी जनरल चले गए उमर असद साहब, इम्प्रेशन ये मिल रहा था एज इफ ही हैज लेफ्ट द पार्टी पोजीशन, नॉट द पार्टी। तो ऐसे के लिए कोई है इनके रूल्स या एक्ट में इनके कुछ ऐसा है कि कोई टेम्पररी अरेंजमेंट हो सकती है?
The Constitution, your ladyship, deals under section 512 on page 141 with the election of office bearers, and then कैसे आता है? Party which my lord Mr. Sir Muhammad Ali Mazhar was referring to, they, my lord, are framed by the Election Commission under Article 9, paragraph F.1 at page 192.
हाँ, उसमें देखें इनके रूल्स के अंदर कोई तरीका दिया है पब्लिसाइज करने का?
No, your lordship, because they develop their bylaws, internal working in accordance with the constitution and notify the
Where is the document of rule? मुझे वो बताया ना, वो मिल नहीं रहा, वो इसमें है, इसमें
rules set page 99. They begin with 98 and the
They're not part of the
ये तो 99 ये है ना इलेक्शन रूल्स इनके 98 के ऊपर हैं। ये आप देखिए,
your lordship will notice two things immediately. These have been brought forward by them now. They are not a part of their constitution, and the election commission, they were not submitted to the election commission.
उसमें कुछ फर्क आ गया है?
Sir, yes.
Because the statute says the election has to be held in accordance with the constitution, not in the bylaws.
Because your lordship
इसमें देखेंगे अगर ये इलेक्शन रूल्स 2020 हैं, ये
Sir.
these are PTI own rules.
My lord.
इसमें इन्होंने कहा है कि वेन्यू को हम अनाउंस भी करेंगे और लोगों को बताएंगे भी कि लिबर्टी टू चूज वन वेन्यू फॉर होल्डिंग ऑफ इलेक्शन और सेपरेट कीपिंग इन व्यू द सिक्योरिटी एंड अदर अरेंजमेंट एज माइट बी रेलिवेंट. द वेन्यू में बी नोटिफाइड सेपरेटली और एज पार्ट ऑफ द इलेक्शन प्रोग्राम. तो ये जो वेन्यू की बात हो रही थी अभी इससे पहले, वो उन्होंने इसमें लिखा हुआ है. नॉमिनेशन के लिए रूल 6 में एनी वेरीफाइड वोटर में propose or seconded the name of any candidate as chairman. These are illegible copies.
Chairman, on Form 1,
Nomination form may be filed by the candidate, by his proposer and seconder before the returning officer. ये है इसके अंदर रूल्स 20 के अंदर.
any verified voter may propose or second the name of any candidate.
नहीं तो आप कह रहे हैं कोई नया मंशूर इनका बना है?
No, my lord, what happens is that
आप कह रहे हैं मैं मानता नहीं हूं मगर कोई नया मंशूर है?
no, I'm saying, my lord, the constitution is the constitution of 2019. The law requires that the elections should take place in accordance with the constitution.
वो तो हम समझ गए, मगर फिर आपने अभी कुछ जिक्र किया कि इनने कोई नया मंशूर इनका मौकिफ है.
These rules of 2020 are framed by the Election Commission for its own internal working. That is there on page 192 of your lordship's file. They specifically say 192. Under the heading functions, after number 6.
192?
Page 192, part 1, my lord.
वो तो फेडरल इलेक्शन कमीशन.
जी सर, उसका अगर आप
ये तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है.
Sir, if your lordship looks at the middle,
bylaws को बता रहा है. These are not the rules. Bylaws for
Sir, यही है.
Sorry, I missed the point.
Sir, the rules which are here or the bylaws which are here.
नहीं, जरा एक सेकंड, जरा वजाहत कर दीजिए. आप जब रूल्स बात कर रहे हैं तो इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान की बात कर रहे हैं?
No, my lord.
No, PTI के own.
PTI rules.
फिर आप ये वजाहत कीजिए ना जरा.
My lord.
जी.
So the under the heading functions F, your lordship will see F.1, the Federal Election Commission shall develop the bylaws for its internal working in accordance with the constitution and notify the same on the website.
तो आइन इनका वही है.
आइन वही है, आइन नहीं बदल सकते, अपनी इंटरनल वर्किंग के लिए
नहीं बदल सकते हैं, कोई बदलना चाहे बदल.
मतलब then they have to amend it in accordance with the procedure.
Amendment file करनी पड़ेगी आपके पास.
And then they have to file.
What turns on this point of yours?
My lord, that these rules as such will not trump the constitution.
Which rules are these?
These the rules framed by the Election Commission of PTI.
Where are those?
Those are at page 98 onwards in part 1.
So this probably will be their defense. I take it.
This may be their defense. They rely on Rule 28.
This, I presume, will be their defense, correct?
My lord, yes, and it says, your lordship may see, this probably
What comes in the way of fair and free elections with these rules? What is so offensive about them?
My lord,
that you don't like them?
My lord, I'd like to point out to your lordship Rule 28. In case of any vacancy in the Federal Election Commission, including Chief Election Commissioner, the Secretary General or the Chairman shall notify Ad Hoc Election Commission to propose to comprise of Chief Election Commissioner and as many members as may be necessary for holding intra-party election. So
इसकी तारीख क्या है इनके रूल्स की?
2020
They simply say 2020. We don't know the date, my lord.
Even if we read this, how does it change anything?
My lord,
they are not relying on these rules because this is regarding ad hoc. They don't say I'm an ad hoc commissioner. They're saying I'm a full-fledged commissioner.
in the ECP relied on 28.
Sir,
Should notify ad hoc election commission. So this is not their case of ad hoc.
I make this submission because before the ECP, they relied on this Rule 28 to say,
I don't understand.
to say that the fallback position is that you could regard him as an ad hoc.
दोबारा पढ़िए जरा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता से.
In case of any vacancy in the Federal Election Commission, including Chief Election Commissioner, the Secretary General or the Chairman shall notify Ad Hoc Election Commission to comprise of Chief Election Commissioner and as many members as may be necessary for holding intra-party election.
तो पहली बात तो वैकेंसी होना है. अगर हम इसको मान भी लेते हैं, चलिए इसको मान लेते हैं फॉर द टाइम बीइंग. दूसरी बात है सेक्रेटरी जनरल या चेयरमैन नॉमिनेट करेंगे, मगर फिर भी वन मैन शो तो नहीं होगा, फिर भी मेंबर्स तो होंगे ना फिर भी.
And they have,
and as many members as may be necessary.
yes my lord.
तो वो कह सकते हैं जी चलिए हमारे पास 6 नहीं है तो 4 कर लेते हैं. For instance, I don't know.
There are two submissions over here, my lord. One, that even this Rule 28 does not envisage a one-man commission. The second submission is that under Chapter 9 on page 192, the requirement of the Constitution is that such members are to be co-opted by the Commission itself. That's one. And secondly, that insofar as the Chief Election Commissioner is concerned, he can't be co-opted. He has to go back to the electoral process.
So they are resting the case on Rule 28 or some other one?
Before the Commission, they rested on Rule 28, and the Commission, therefore, in its order says...
No, anything else which may save them, help them, which you are opposed to?
My lord, your lordship may see page 61, part of the Election Commission's order.
No, just tell us, we don't want to see
Yes,
it.
my lord, there they rely on it, and
Let's be fair, is anything here which will help them?
my lord, our submission is no. Our submission
I'm
is...
asking as counsel, not as
No, my lord.
representing ECP.
My submission as counsel is that the rules, insofar as they are inconsistent with the Constitution...
हम समझ गए point
Sir,
को ना?
and
But
this-
let's say they are proper rules.
And if-
How will
if even-
how will it help them? Please tell us those provisions.
Our submission is that even if they are, then under Rule 28 itself, the body has to be an election commission. It can't be one person. So they have to explain to
ये
you.
मगर वो दूसरी बात आप ये एडॉक नहीं कह रहे हैं कि मैं एडॉक हूँ.
That's the third one.
हो सकता है कि जैसे हमारे कलीग ने पूछा कि भाई कभी कभी हो जाता है कुछ फॉर वेरियस रीजंस इमरजेंसी ये वो वगैरह कोई बीमार हो गया कुछ हो गया तो वो एडॉक चले उन्हें अपॉइंट कर दिया मगर यहाँ वो एडॉक का केस ही नहीं है तो आप उनका केस क्यों प्लीड कर
No,
रहे हैं?
I am only pointing out that in paragraph 16 of its order, the Election Commission notes that they admitted...
I don't think it's a relevant point.
No, they said the Election Commission noted that they admitted that this was in violation of the
Chale,
Constitution.
have you concluded?
My lord, may I draw your lordship's attention to a few paragraphs of the Election Commission's order? I may not read it, your
So
lordship.
before that, can you show us the order and the challenge again now?
The High Court order, my lord?
Ji.
My lord, yes. That, the impugned order of the High Court is at page 28. The operative part starts at the foot of the page for the reasons, part 1, page 28, part 1, for the reasons to be recorded later and subject to amplifications and explanations made therein
Yeah, but where do they say anything about the elections?
above.
In the whole dispute, as I've understood it, I may have understood everything wrong, is the validity of 2nd December election. Where is the declaration of the High Court saying that they were in accordance with law or their constitution or they were not?
They don't say anything, my lord, they simply...
First you have to hold that, then whether the symbol of bat will be given or not, that is a subsequent relief. First the initial declaration has to be there. Where is that?
That is not...
Let's read it again, the whole order. We hold.
Hold and declare that the impugned order of the Election Commission of Pakistan dated 22nd December 2023 be passed in case number as illegal without any lawful authority and of no legal effect.
But that still doesn't mean that there has been an election.
No, it
चलिए आपका order उड़ गया.
जी.
अब number 2 पढ़ें.
The Election Commission of Pakistan is directed to forthwith publish the certificate filed by the petitioner on its website in terms of section 209 of the Election Act 2017.
इससे पहले declaration कहाँ है? Election were in accordance with law.
There is none, my lord.
So this will only follow that declaration.
There is no such declaration.
Yes, the elections were held proper, whatever, and then issue the certificate and issue the election symbol. But I find that declaration missing.
That is missing. My lord, I can only presume. They presume to be acting. The presumption appears to be that under 209, under section 209. Once the certificate is given, that is conclusive of the matter. The Election Commission cannot see whether the elections were fair or foul, proper or improper, in accordance with law or otherwise.
जमहूरियत के तकाजे पूरे नहीं हो रहे हैं। देखिए इस सब चीज का जहां तक मैं समझ चुका हूँ, कुछ चीजें टेक्निकल है, ये करो वो करो, ये कागज फाइल करो, सेक्रेटरी जनरल ये फला फला, चले वो हम सब नजरअंदाज कर देते हैं। एक बुनियादी चीज है जमहूरियत। जमहूरियत मुल्क में भी होना चाहिए और जमहूरियत पार्टी में भी होना चाहिए। ठीक है, आपको टॉलरेट करना होता है गिव एंड टेक, कभी आपके मुखालिफिन भी आ जाते हैं कभी कभी। तो बुनियादी बात तो जमहूरियत की है, आर्टिकल 17 तो यही कह रहे हैं ना। तो आर्टिकल 17 का डिक्लेरेशन तो दें। हाई कोर्ट आपने कहा ये आपका इलेक्शन मुस्तरद हम करते हैं, हम इसको नहीं मानते, ठीक है, आपने गलत कर दिया, तो हाई कोर्ट फिर इसको ठीक करे ना कि नहीं ये इलेक्शन सही थे।
That finding is not there.
अगर वो इलेक्शन सही थे फिर उनको सर्टिफिकेट भी उनका मानना चाहिए, फिर उनको इंतखाबी निशान भी देना चाहिए, फिर तो सब चीजें फॉलो करेंगी ना थ्रू। That are consequential reliefs, not the main relief.
This is the exact problem that we are facing.
Yes.
We do not know where their reasons will go.
उन्होंने कहा reasons amplify कर सकते हैं, but this is a fundamental prayer which seems to be subject to saying it aloud, so they make a note of it and they address it. Where is that declaration? Because the prayers you will see kindly declare that the elections held on 2nd of December 2023 were in accordance with the constitution of the political party and in accordance with law and the whatever.
Because they will amplify the reasons within the ambit of the short order.
And then the next step will be and consequential relief, including accepting the requisite certification, issuing the symbol, doing 500 other things if they're required to be done. But those can follow, or even if they're not written, those can be implied. But the declaration can't be implied, or can it be implied?
My Lord, there is no such declaration. And also, if your Lordship looks at the petition, they didn't even pray over there that the elections were held properly.
Are you sure?
There is no
petition kahan hai unki?
My Lord, your Lordship will see page 49, which is the prayer clause.
Please read them.
My Lord, hold and declare that the impugned order is without jurisdiction, without lawful authority and illegal, and as a consequence thereof, set it aside forthwith. Hold and declare that proceedings by ECP to question the validity of the IPEs on the basis of...
IPE क्या होता है?
My Lord, intra-party elections.
I don't know why people don't write the whole thing, intra-party elections.
On the basis of any objections, filed by any persons were quorum non juris, illegal and without lawful authority.
I can't understand. Hold and declare.
Declare that proceedings by ECP to question the validity of the IPEs on the basis of any objections filed by any persons were quorum non juris, illegal and without lawful authority.
Why? I mean, anybody can go and complain. So I was just reading why.
My Lord, because...
I don't understand this prayer. Chale, next go to the C prayer.
Yes.
Find
and declare that election symbol has been illegal and unlawfully been withdrawn, which is inter alia violation of fundamental rights of the petitioners, including Article 17 and Article 25 of the Constitution. Direct the Election Commission of Pakistan to forthwith publish the certificate of PTI on website of ECP as required by Section 209, paragraph 3, in the interest of justice, and to restore its election symbol forthwith. In the meanwhile, suspend the impugned order, so on and so forth.
They have not sought the declaration.
They have not, my Lord. The reason appears to be, if your Lordship takes a look at page 40.
Because if they get a declaration, they may have left out C, D, E.
Yes.
And I would say the implied praise, and you have to do that once the declaration has been given of free and fair or whatever elections they've held, or in compliance with their own constitution.
You see in paragraph A, I think
yes.
they will,
yes, my Lord.
Obviously they will respond to
page 43.
I will like to know their response.
Authority.
My Lord,
they have challenged the authority as well as the jurisdiction. Now they has to explain us whether
that
ECP can check the inter-party elections or not at this stage, and whether it was a voidable or
That is the central point.
Negligible.
I wanted to draw your lordship's attention to ground A.
इसीलिए इधर वो ऑर्डर आ जाएगा लाहौर हाई कोर्ट का लर्नेड सिंगल जज का। उन्होंने ये बात की कि ये फ्रेज उस वक्त मैं दे सकता हूँ कि मतलब स्ट्राइक डाउन कर दूं इलेक्शन एक्ट के कौन से दो सेक्शंस थे
जी 209 and 215(5).
वो उनकी वहां तक तो बात अब समझ आई मुझे जाकर के कि उन्होंने क्यों कहा, अब शायद समझ आ रही है बात को। चले आपकी बात हम मौके समझ गए, कोई और बात नहीं है तो हम आगे बढ़े।
But may I just show to your lordship ground A? That is the case they are setting up, and that's why they are not seeking the declaration of the election. According to them, ECP has no jurisdiction to challenge the internal appointments of officials of PTI or set aside PTI's intra-party election held on 2nd of December 2023 and declare them void. As such, the impugned order is not sustainable in law. ECP is not a court of law and cannot question the appointment made by any political party or examine the validity of a political party's intra-party election.
But doesn't these prayers violate the constitution then?
Our submission is yes.
Because you are saying something, I'll do whatever I want to do.
Yes.
I mean, contrary to my own constitution, I don't know. I would want certainly assistance of Hamid Khan Saab. And be prepared to be clean bold, Mr. Makhdoom Ali Khan.
My lord, may I just, 2 lines from this page, ground B, last 2 lines. They talk about the role of the election commission. Only role is to keep a record of the party's constitution and changes, then keep record of elected officers, record sources of funds and campaign
Now
finance.
can you quickly go through the provisions of the election commission in the constitution of Pakistan?
My lord.
Start from there and proceed with the law.
My lord, yes.
Quickly.
Yes, my lord. Your lordship may turn.
I'm sure you're tired standing up, but
My
we
lord,
at least have the luxury of sitting down, but anyway.
My lord, if your lordship may graciously take a look at articles 213 onwards is the election commission, but the relevant
230 or 230?
213, my lord, 213 on is are the provisions relating to election commission. The relevant one over here would be 218. Subsection 3.
No, but the whole, ये पूरा chapter elections पे.
Ji sir.
Part 7.
Yes sir. And 218(3).
213 and
218, paragraph 3, it shall be the duty of the election commission to organize and conduct the election and to make such arrangements as are necessary to ensure that the election is conducted honestly, justly, fairly, in accordance with law, and that corrupt.
ये तो general elections की बात है.
Then sir,
inter party election का जिक्र है इसमें कहीं?
सर इसमें नहीं है, सिर्फ एक तरह से आता है 219. The commission shall be charged with the duty of, and if your lordship may turn to clause E, such other functions as may be specified by an act of Majlis Shura Parliament.
अब वो जो इलेक्शन एक्ट है उसको
अच्छा, तो ये आ रहा है 219E के जरिए.
E के जरिए इलेक्शन एक्ट 2017.
या तो इसको चैलेंज करें.
Yes.
अच्छा, एक तो ये हो गया. अब बुनियादी हकूक, इन्होंने 2 बुनियादी हकूक का तस्करा किया है अपनी प्रेयर में. एक है 17 और एक है 25.
My lord, on Article 70.
एक जरा सी बात सुन लीजिए ना. 17 कहता है कि हर शख्स को इलेक्शन में वोट डालने का हक होगा और पॉलिटिकल पार्टी बनाने का हक होगा.
सर,
इस पे तो कोई आपकी कोई राय, मनफी राय तो नहीं है ना?
नहीं सर.
हाँ?
No sir, not at all.
अच्छा, फिर 25 क्या कहते हैं? सबको आप बराबर ट्रीट करेंगे.
सर,
इस पे भी आपकी कोई?
Not at all. No.
तो ये जो सिंबल वगैरह का जो जिक्र है, ये सारा इलेक्शन एक्ट में आता है.
My lord.
सिंबल का जिक्र कहाँ आता है इलेक्शन एक्ट में?
Election
सिंबल
Act,
कहते हैं उसको, क्या कहते हैं?
Chapter 12 of the Election Act. Rules मेरे पास है.
इलेक्शन
212 के बाद ही है.
जी सर.
आई में तो उसका तस्कर नहीं है ना?
नहीं सर.
जी.
Sir, allocation of symbols is 214. The commission shall prescribe a list of election symbols for allocation to political parties, and candidates and the symbols in the list shall be visibly and perceptually different from each other. 215. Notwithstanding anything contained in any other law, a political party enlisted under this act shall be eligible to obtain an election symbol for contesting elections for Majlis-e-Shura Parliament, provincial assemblies or local governments on submission of certificates and statements referred to in sections 202, 206, 209 and 210. If your lordship may see the next provision, a combination of enlisted political parties will get symbols. And then if your lordship may see 5, if a political party or parties to whom show cause notice has been issued under subsection 4 fails to comply with the provisions of section 209 or section 210, the commission may, after affording it or them an opportunity of being heard, declare it or them ineligible to obtain an election symbol for election to Majlis-e-Shura Parliament, provincial assembly or a local government, and the commission shall not allocate an election symbol to such political party or combination of political parties in subsequent elections.
Is it your case that the only reason political parties will comply with any direction of the election commission to hold election is when you hold this stick in one hand? Otherwise, they'll say, we won't hold elections.
Otherwise,
or is there some other mechanism also?
My lord, there is a mechanism that if given the time frame in their own constitution, if they
वो तो आगे पीछे हो सकता है जैसे आपने अब वो वाली बहस तो हमारे सामने नहीं है आपने साल दे दिया उनको
उस टाइम फ्रेम पे भी हम उनको सिर्फ फाइन कर सकते हैं और कुछ नहीं कर सकते वो छोटा सा फाइन है वो दे के आगे बढ़ जाएंगे बट इफ वी वांट टू एनफोर्स आर्टिकल 208 elections within a political party and 209 then the elections should be in accordance with the constitution of a political party. If we don't have the power under 215(5) then these provisions will be purely advisory in nature. There will be no obligation on political party to comply with it because this election.
मुझे याद आ रहा है वो धरना केस में इलेक्शन कमीशन ने कोई बात की थी पता नहीं उन्होंने कहा था कॉस्मेटिक है फिर उन्हें अपोलोजाइज किया कि लॉ इज नॉट कॉस्मेटिक आई डोंट नो व्हाट प्रोविजन देयर इज देयर वाज समथिंग मेंशन्ड देयर व्हिच टुक ग्रेट एक्सेप्शन टू दैट हाउ कैन यू talk about the law cosmetic you are bound by the law which gives you the powers also
and that's part of your lordship's judgment and we'll place that judgment on the record that this is what your lordship
that's not relevant to this case so is it
my lord it's relevant to this case and there are a number of other determinations by this honorable decisions by this honorable court where this honorable court has said that the election commission is a body which has been created to ensure that elections are held in a fair manner.
No, not the general elections. Inter-political party वाले.
My lord, intra-party पर भी judgment.
वो वाले judgment दीजिए.
साहब वैसे इसमें और भी कोई judgment है जिसमें ये the question of inter-party elections were made subject matter of any judgment.
My lord, your lordship must see this.
In which violation was treated so grave.
My lord, if your lordship perceive where the observations are, this is PLD 212 Supreme Court. PLD 212 Supreme Court 681.
PLD 12 ये आपकी बुकलेट में है?
जी सर टैब 8
ये वाली बुकलेट
ये आफ्ताब अहमद खान शेपॉप केस आप कह रहे हैं ये कौन सा?
My lord,
नंबर कौन सा होता है?
My lord, टैब 8
टैब 1
टैब
8
okay 8 means workers party.
Yes, my lord.
ये क्या फरमाता है? Irrelevant.
My lord, paragraph 42, I'll read 40 later, but 42, the parliament has framed different laws to effectuate the above constitutional provisions and to regulate elections to the national and provincial assemblies. ROPA reiterates and further vests the election.
In material terms, is a vast difference between ROPA and the present election act.
My
these
lord,
provisions, कोई खास फर्क है वही है.
My lord, some of these provisions are new, but otherwise it's
only 215 is new, otherwise all the rest.
All the rest are the same, my lord, except for 5, subsection 5 of 215. But your lordship.
No, has it been, was there in ROPA also 215.5?
No, in ROPA there was no 215.5.
215.5 has not been challenged.
No, my lord. My lord, regulate and check intra-part, your lordship will see further vest the election commission with the responsibilities and powers to inter alia regulate and check intra-party affairs and actions taken by candidates and parties in anticipation of and on election day, resolve all election disputes, declare the election void, so on and so forth. The last three lines, the law therefore entrusts the Election Commission with exclusive, broad and extensive powers to attend to all issues related directly and ancillary to the election process.
Next case.
My Lord, my Lord, your Lordship's judgment in the suo motu case number 7 of 2017, PLD 2019.
दूसरी बुकलेट
Supreme Court, my Lord, it's in volume 1, tab 9.
इसमें क्या आपने कहा?
Sir, on page 343 of tab 9, paragraph 33, the Election Commission is a constitutional body and the Constitution stipulates that the Election Commission shall ensure that the election is conducted honestly, justly, fairly and in accordance with law and that corrupt practices are guarded against. The Election Commission is also required to undertake such other functions as may be specified by an act of Majlis-e-Shura Parliament. Article 17(3) of the Constitution requires political parties to account for the source of their funds, and Section 211 of the Election Act demands that detail of election expenses be provided. The Election Commission confirmed that TLP did not account for its fund and election expenses, but surprisingly professes its helplessness because the law according to it is cosmetic in nature.
And so this is what I recalled.
The Election Commission should disabuse itself that constitutional and legal provisions are cosmetic. The responsibilities placed on the Election Commission by the Constitution and the law must be fulfilled. They are not optional.
इसमें तो वो इलेक्शन एक्सपेंसेस वाली बात नहीं है.
नहीं, इसमें इलेक्शन एक्सपेंसेस वाली बात नहीं, but there's a provision which
आपके पास कुछ चल भी तो रहा था ना मैटर, हम अखबारों में पढ़ते थे क्या एक्सपेंसेस वाला केस, उसका क्या बना? फंडिंग या क्या?
they found a violation, my lord.
हाँ?
They found a violation.
नहीं, उसका बना क्या ना, हतमी नतीजा क्या बना उसका?
जो कंट्रीब्यूशन वाला केस में हमने फाइंडिंग देखी,
वो किधर है?
वो सर
वो उनको पता होगा. वो
उसमें सर हमने रिपोर्ट दी थी.
ये ने क्या हतमी फैसला क्या हुआ इसमें? फैसला रिपोर्ट नहीं पूछ रहे.
The commission found out that there were funds that were received from sources prohibited under law, and a show cause notice issued. उसका final फैसला नहीं आया show cause का, to my knowledge. That is still pending.
फैसला नहीं आएगा क्या मतलब?
जी, कानून की रिक्वायरमेंट ये थी कि पहले इलेक्शन कमीशन ये तयन करेगा कि क्या आया प्रोहिबिटेड सोर्सेज से पैसे आए हैं, अगर आए हैं तो शो कॉज करेगा. कमीशन ने शो कॉज कर दिया, उसमें फिर शो कॉज प्रोसीडिंग्स अभी तक पेंडिंग है, उससे कोलैटरल लिटिगेशन होती रही. और आई अंडरस्टैंड
ये तो कब से चल रहा है?
जी 2014 से.
उसमें सर ये अभी एक सिंगल बेंच का फैसला था, सर विद योर परमिशन, और उन्होंने कहा कि आप एविडेंस रिकॉर्ड करें, which we have challenged that we have already undertaken the exercise and we need not to further record evidence. There is a judgment of a single bench of the Honorable Islamabad High Court. We have challenged that through ICA.
9 साल हो गए अभी तक नहीं हो रहा है.
There are multiple litigations. Our orders are challenged one after another, and there are.
चलिए जी, and proceed.
My lord, this is the.
How long will you take? I hope shortly.
My lord, very short. PLD 2018, Supreme Court 189.
2018.
Supreme Court 189. This is at tab 7 of this volume 1, which your lordship was just reading. Page is 238. Relevant page is page 238. Your lordships on page 238 notice clause E of article 219 of the Constitution, and the last 4 words on this page. The ECP is an independent and autonomous body which exercises executive and regulatory powers derived from the Constitution. Though it has the power to appoint election tribunals and so on and so forth, my lord, the ECP itself is a supervisory body which exercises regulatory and administrative powers under the Constitution and the law. The next paragraph, my lord, the 5th line, Your Lordships, we have highlighted that for your Lordships as well. Besides being a limb of the executive that is charged with the duty to conduct and oversee elections in the country, we find that the ECP must necessarily possess the power to collect facts, information and data that enable it to properly and effectively perform such duty. Such a capability represents the constitutional and inherent legal power of ECP. Therefore, in exercise of its powers under Article 6 of the PPO read with Rule 6, the ECP has all the necessary authority to ask for and collect the requisite information and facts that enable it to decide and determine whether the contributions or donations accepted by a political party are prohibited under Article 6(3). Without such power, we are of the opinion that the ECP's power to decide as to whether a political party is receiving contributions or donations from sources prohibited under Article 6(3) ebate would for all.
Which party was this?
My lord, it was the case of PTI. This was a case.
ये judgment तो ये 18 का है, अभी तक इस पे अमल नहीं हुआ है?
Sir, not as yet.
Right?
Such a result would be against the clear command of Article 17(3).
Are you disregarding a judgment of the Supreme
No,
Court?
my lord, we have not. We have then proceeded accordingly. That those proceedings have taken place, which my learned friend Mr. Ahmed Hassan was informing your lordship about.
The show cause proceedings are still pending. My complaint to the commission that the funds were being.
फैक्ट्स पे नहीं जाए ना, हम ही तो इसमें तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट डायरेक्शन दे रहा है ECB को कि काम करो इसका, तो क्यों नहीं किया? ये तो 2018 का जजमेंट है.
For the reason stated कि जी collateral litigation है, there is no other reason to my mind.
ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर है.
जी बिल्कुल सही कहा.
चलिए अगला बताइए.
Paragraph 47, we find it hard to fathom the contention that the intention behind the PPO and the rules is to take away the administrative and regulatory power of the ECP derived from the Constitution to call for any record, information or data from a political party, to ascertain the sources of its contributions and donations, and to place such power exclusively in the hands of a party appointed chartered accountant. Learned Counsel has not been able to show us from any provision of the PPO and the rules framed thereunder, nor from any other principle of law laid down by this court, that failure by the ECP to object the audited statement of account of a political party before its gazette publication would tantamount to the acceptance of the said accounts, and that thereafter the ECP would become functus official.
आगे बढ़े, अगला.
My lord, 48 also I just referred, that has been highlighted. My lord, the next judgment is at tab 13, that's a PLD 2018, Islamabad 300. That's a judgment of a learned judge. We have highlighted the relevant portions.
यही तीन आप कहना चाह रहे हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के, या कोई और भी है?
These are cases, 35 cases which ECP filed CPs.
जी वो करें. जी किधर गया? My lord, may I just submit that to conclude on this proposition, our respectful submission is that the duty of the ECP to declare that a political party is ineligible for an election symbol when it fails to hold intra-party elections in accordance with its constitution is actually made redundant by the judgment of the Peshawar High Court, and so also are sections 209 read with section 215(5). Because if we do not have that power, then it has far-reaching consequences. We cease to be a body which can have any control over intra-party elections.
बस.
My lord, this was the submission on this. There are couple of.
ये आपका राइट ऑफ रिप्लाई भी होगा ना?
जी सर.
अब आप हमें भी जरा.
May I just point out one thing that recent.
आप कोई और बात तो बताएं.
My lord, the preliminary objection that they have taken, I can.
देखिए हम आपको जो आप अभी तक आपसे बात समझ आई है वो सारी बात घूमती है इनकी अपनी इलेक्शन के बारे में. ठीक है, ये इन्होंने केस जरा कहीं और ले गए, पर बुनियादी बात जो आपका एतराज था इनका, और यह एतराज आज से नहीं, मतलब जब ये हुकूमत में भी थे कि भाई आप इलेक्शन तो करा लें अपनी पार्टी के, तो उन्होंने कहा जी हाँ देर हो गई वगैरह वगैरह, हमें साल दे दें, आपने साल दे दिया. फिर आपका कहना ये है कि आपने जो इलेक्शन कराए सही नहीं है. ये बुनियादी सी बात है. अगर वो इलेक्शन सही है तो मेरे हिसाब से मे बी सब्जेक्ट टू करेक्शन बाकी रिलीफ विल ऑटोमेटिकली फॉलो, फिर सर्टिफिकेशन आप लाजिम है आप पे, इनका इंतखाबी निशान देना लाजिम है आप पे, वो तो मेरे ख्याल में ऐसी चलेंगी। और अगर ये नहीं दिखा सके कि इलेक्शन उन्होंने सही तौर पे किया है तो शायद इनको फिर कॉन्सिक्वेंस सफर करेंगे। अब दो तीन कानूनी बातें भी खड़ी हो गई हैं। एक बुनियादी कानूनी बात है, खान साहब आप ये नोट कर लें, एक बुनियादी कानूनी बात है कि डिक्लेरेशन इन्होंने नहीं मांगा कि भाई जो हमने इलेक्शन कराया है बिल्कुल सही है, वो उन्होंने कॉन्सिक्वेंशियल रिलीफ पे चले गए। कॉन्सिक्वेंशियल रिलीफ को उर्दू में क्या फरमाएंगे? नताइज और
अवामिल।
ठीक है, तो वो ज्यादा फोकस उधर चला गया है, वो बेसिक बात खत्म हो गई है, पहली बात। दूसरी बात ये है कि वो जो अभी हमने अच्छा एक बात हम वजाहत कर लें, अभी मालूम किया था कि जो ये 2 पिटिशंस थी, ये अभी मजीद मालूम हुआ है कि वो आज लगी थी और आज उन्होंने बैरिस्टर अली जफर साहब ने तारीख ली है दोनों में, ये आज की पोजीशन है। तो जब एक मसला वहां खड़ा हुआ है तो वही मसला पिशार जा सकता है या नहीं जा सकता है। तो तीसरी बात जो आई है वो इसको नजरअंदाज कर दें कि अगर ये पिटिशन ना भी थी, पिशार हाई कोर्ट के पास टेरिटोरियल या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल जुरिस्डिक्शन था, इस पे आपने हमें कोई बात नहीं मदद की।
सर मे आई वेरी क्विकली माय लॉर्ड,
समीर का कहना है क्योंकि हमने इलेक्शन इधर करा है इसलिए पिशार हाई कोर्ट का जुरिस्डिक्शन है।
ये इसको सेक्शन 20 CPC जो है ना, द कॉज ऑफ एक्शन पार्टली और होली अराइज, basically that has been interpreted in so many judgments of the Supreme Court with regard to Article 199 and territorial jurisdiction. उस पे भी आप अपना, क्योंकि वो आपने रेस किया है तो
सर the direct judgment on the point and observation of this honorable court is in the case of Lieutenant General Salahuddin Tirmizi versus Election Commission of Pakistan, where first the
is it in the books?
My lord, it's there, it's tab 6 in volume 1, and the relevant observation is at page 760. PLD 2008 Supreme Court 735, page 760. I have highlighted the portion, my lord, but I'll read it. 760.
Was there some previous cases also?
Yes. In the present case, Election Commission, while discharging functions in connection with the affairs of Federation within the territorial jurisdiction of Islamabad High Court, passed an order in respect of NA20 Mansehra, a constituency of province of NWFP. Therefore, the objection relating to the jurisdiction and maintainability of writ petition before the Islamabad High Court would be of no significance. It may be pointed out that in the light of principle laid down by this court regarding the exercise of such jurisdiction in such situations, the order passed by the ECP, which functions at Islamabad in respect of the constituency of province of NWFP, would be challengeable both before Islamabad High Court and Peshawar High Court. This concurrent jurisdiction is, however, subject to the rule of propriety, according to which a High Court having jurisdiction in a matter, if it has exercised such jurisdiction, the other High Court which has also jurisdiction in the matter may restrain from exercising its jurisdiction. In view thereof, in the present case, propriety demanded that subsequent order passed by Election Commission of Pakistan should have been challenged before the Islamabad High Court, and the jurisdiction of Peshawar High Court should not have been invoked.
पुराने वाली ब्लॉग है, संदल बार है।
जी सर, they are all there. This I point out because this is directly an Election Commission case where it was first challenged. The first order was challenged in Islamabad. The second order was challenged in Peshawar High Court. The Supreme Court
They have also said that the concurrent jurisdiction for the both courts.
They've said there is concurrent jurisdiction with both courts, but propriety is that if you have gone to a court once in the case of the first order, then for the second order, you should also go to that court.
In concurrent jurisdiction, because the order was passed for the constituency of KPK, therefore they held that the concurrent jurisdiction.
Yes, my lord.
But what do you say in this case where the order has been passed at Islamabad and the elections and
But this order is for the whole of Pakistan.
This order is for the whole of Pakistan. It can be challenged.
Now, देखिए उनके elections, suppose you found that the elections of a political party to the extent of the federal offices of Punjab, Baluchistan were all right, but only the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, these persons who came said कि जी हमारे यहाँ सही नहीं हुआ. So that would of course give maybe Peshawar High Court. You are not saying that because the Election Commission of Pakistan is based in Islamabad, the primary jurisdiction is Islamabad. That's you're not saying.
No, I am not saying that. What I am saying is that when I passed the first order invalidating their election.
Where did you pass that order?
23rd, 11th.
Where?
My lord, that order was passed in
Peshawar or
Islamabad.
here?
No, both orders were passed in Islamabad. Both orders were passed in Islamabad. First time round, when the order is passed on 23rd of November, they go and they challenge it before the Lahore High Court. Second time,
those elections were held in Lahore?
No.
नहीं वो जो PTI के इलेक्शन वो जो
Our High Court is at page 54. Part 1, page 54. Look, this is the